In this world, as chosen ones, you may often find yourself walking a solitary path, feeling isolated and apart from others. This isolation is not a punishment, but a divine calling. It is a separation ordained by God, meant to serve a higher purpose, one that transcends the limitations of the physical world. To understand this, you must realize that God's ways are not like human ways. His plan is beyond what we can often see or comprehend at the surface level. Your isolation is not to harm you, but to prepare you, to mold you into the person you are destined to be. Many of you might feel the weight of this solitude, wondering why relationships seem to fade away, why friends disappear, or why the world feels distant. This is where most chosen ones find themselves questioning, doubting, and at times even fearing that they have been abandoned. But know this, the isolation you experience is part of a greater unfolding. It is God pulling you aside, away from distractions, away from noise, so that you may hear His voice clearly. In these moments, when you are pulled away from the crowd, it is when God is closest to you. He has chosen to bring you into a quiet space, a sacred space, where He can reveal the depths of His divine plan. God isolates the chosen because He must. You are not meant to fit into the ordinary, for you were created to do extraordinary things. To accomplish this, you must first be separated, removed from the patterns of the world, so that you can become a vessel for higher truths, for deeper wisdom. Just as the seed must first be buried in the dark soil before it can sprout into the light, so too must you go through a period of isolation before your purpose can fully bloom. Do not mistake this period as a time of abandonment. It is, in fact, a time of preparation. God is preparing your heart, your mind, and your spirit for the work that lies ahead. During isolation, you may feel uncomfortable, even restless. But this discomfort is part of the transformation. You are being refined, just as gold is refined in the fire. The fire burns away impurities, leaving behind only that which is pure, that which is valuable. In the same way, God's isolation burns away the things that no longer serve you, the doubts, the fears, the attachments to the old ways of being. You are being purified, prepared for the next chapter of your journey. And though it may be painful at times, it is necessary. You are being transformed into someone who can handle the weight of the divine purpose that has been placed upon your life. God isolates you because He needs you to listen, to be still, and to receive. In the stillness, you will begin to understand that everything is unfolding according to divine timing. You cannot rush this process. Just as a flower blooms in its own season, so too will your purpose unfold at the right time. Trust that this isolation is not a delay but a necessary pause. God is aligning everything in your favor, but first you must be aligned with Him. This is why He pulls you away from the noise, from the distractions, so that you may attune yourself to His frequency, to His voice. Often we associate isolation with loneliness, but chosen ones, there is a vast difference between being alone and being lonely. When God isolates you, He is not leaving you alone. On the contrary, He is inviting you into deeper communion with Him. He is drawing you closer, so that you may lean on Him, depend on Him, and trust Him more fully. You are never truly alone when you are with God. His presence surrounds you, even when you cannot see it. His hand is guiding you, even when you do not feel it. In this sacred solitude, you are being invited into a higher level of intimacy with the divine. It is in this place of isolation where revelations occur, where the veil is lifted, and you begin to see life through the eyes of the Spirit. As chosen ones, you must stop worrying about the isolation. Worry is a sign of mistrust. It is the mind clinging to fear, imagining worst-case scenarios. But God does not work through fear. He works through faith. The path of the chosen one is one of faith, not of sight. You may not always see what is ahead, but you must trust that God is leading you exactly where you need to be. Do not let worry cloud your vision or rob you of your peace. Instead, allow this time of isolation to deepen your trust in God. Trust that He knows what He is doing, that He sees the bigger picture, and that He is orchestrating everything for your highest good. The world may not understand your journey. People may question why you seem to withdraw, why you are no longer participating in the things you once did. But remember, the path of the chosen one is not for everyone to understand. You are being called to walk a different path, one that requires you to detach from the things of the world so that you can focus on the things of the Spirit. This detachment is not a loss, but a gain. You are gaining a deeper connection with God, a clearer understanding of your purpose, and a greater sense of peace. Do not disappear in this isolation. It is tempting when we feel isolated to want to withdraw completely, to shut ourselves off from the world. But this is not what God intends. He does not isolate you so that you will vanish into the background. He isolates you so that you can emerge stronger, more focused, more aligned with your purpose. Use this time wisely. Seek God in the quiet moments. Pray, meditate, and listen. The answers you seek are already within you, waiting to be uncovered. But you must be still enough to hear them. Chosen ones, God isolates you because He has set you apart. You are not meant to follow the crowd, to do what everyone else is doing. Your calling is higher, your purpose is greater, and to fulfill this, you must first be removed from the noise of the world. God is not interested in who you were before. He is interested in who you are becoming. This is a time of becoming more of who you were created to be, becoming more aligned with the divine will, becoming a vessel for God's light to shine through. Do not fight this isolation. Embrace it. See it for what it truly is, a gift of time, a gift of clarity, a gift of preparation. God is doing a work in you, and though you may not see the full picture yet, trust that when the time is right, everything will make sense. You will look back on this period and understand why it was necessary. You will see how the isolation prepared you, how it strengthened you, and how it brought you closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. You may feel misunderstood during this time. You may feel as though no one can relate to what you are going through. But remember, you are not walking this path alone. Many chosen ones before you have walked the same path. They too experienced isolation, but they emerged on the other side stronger, wiser, and more in tune with their purpose. You are part of a divine lineage, a lineage of those who have been set apart for a higher calling. And though the world may not understand, God understands. He sees you, He knows you, and He is with you every step of the way. So stop worrying. Let go of the fear, the doubt, and the need for approval from others. This is between you and God. Your journey is sacred, and it is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust the process. Trust the isolation. Trust that God is doing a work in you that will not only transform your life, but will also impact the lives of others. You were chosen for a reason, and that reason will become clear in time. In this period of isolation, focus on your inner growth. Focus on cultivating a deeper relationship with God. This is a time of preparation, and what you do during this time will determine how you step into the next phase of your journey. Do not waste this time worrying or doubting. Instead, use it to strengthen your faith, to sharpen your vision, and to align yourself with the divine purpose that is unfolding in your life. Chosen ones, God isolates you because He is preparing you for something greater, something that requires you to be fully present, fully aware, and fully aligned with His will. Do not disappear in this isolation. Instead, allow it to transform you, to elevate you, and to bring you closer to the fulfillment of your divine destiny. This is your time, your season of growth, and your moment to shine. Trust the process, trust the isolation, and trust that God is with you every step of the way. As you move through this period of isolation, it's essential to remember that God is always working on your behalf, even when it seems as though nothing is happening. The silence that you may experience during this time is not a void, but rather a space where God is cultivating growth within you. This isolation allows you to break free from distractions and truly align with the divine will. And it's here that you begin to tap into the power that lies within you. The power that has always been there, but is now being fully awakened. You see, chosen ones, God isolates you because He knows that the path you are on requires focus, discipline, and a level of awareness that can only be achieved through solitude. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of the world, in the opinions and judgments of others, but God knows that in order for you to step into your true calling, you must first step away from those distractions. The world will always try to pull you in different directions, but in isolation you learn to stand firm, to trust your inner guidance, and to rely on the voice of God above all else. This period of separation is also a time for you to deepen your connection with yourself. So often we are conditioned to seek validation and approval from external sources. But when you are isolated, those external sources fade away, and you are left with yourself. This is where true transformation begins. In the quiet, you come face to face with your fears, your insecurities, and your doubts. But you also come face to face with your strength, your resilience, and your faith. It is in this space that you begin to understand that everything you need is already within you. God isolates you because He wants you to understand the power of being alone with Him. There is a sacredness in solitude, a sacredness that allows you to commune with God in ways that are not possible when you are surrounded by the noise of the world. In isolation, you are given the opportunity to listen, to truly hear the whispers of the divine, and to receive the guidance that will carry you through the next phase of your journey. This is a time of divine downloads where revelations are given, insights are unveiled, and your spiritual awareness is heightened. As chosen ones, you must stop worrying about the opinions of others. People may not understand why you are being pulled away, why you seem to be walking a different path, but that is not for them to understand. Your journey is unique, and it is not meant to be validated by others. God is the one who validates you, who calls you, and who ordains your steps. Trust that His approval is all that you need. The opinions of others will fade, but God's plan for your life is eternal. During this time of isolation, you will also begin to recognize that the things you once thought were important no longer hold the same weight. Material possessions, status, and recognition from others lose their significance as you become more attuned to the things of the Spirit. You begin to see that true fulfillment comes from within, from your relationship with God, and from living in alignment with your divine purpose. The things of this world are temporary, but the things of the Spirit are eternal. This is why God isolates you, so that you can detach from the temporary and focus on the eternal. Isolation also gives you the space to heal. Many of you have carried wounds from the past, hurts that have not yet been addressed. In the busyness of life, it's easy to push those wounds aside, to bury them beneath the surface, but in isolation there is nowhere to hide. God brings those wounds to the surface not to harm you but to heal you. He wants you to be whole, to be free from the baggage of the past, so that you can move forward into your destiny unencumbered. This is a time of deep healing, a time to release what no longer serves you, and to allow God to mend the broken pieces of your heart. You may feel like you are losing people during this time, and in many ways you are. But understand that not everyone is meant to go where you are going. God is removing certain people from your life because their season in your journey has come to an end. This is not a loss, but a divine pruning. Just as a gardener prunes a tree to encourage new growth, God is pruning your life so that you can grow into the fullness of who you were created to be. Trust that those who are meant to stay will stay, and those who are meant to leave will leave. This is all part of God's plan. Chosen ones, you are being called to a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of spiritual awareness. This isolation is not just about removing you from the world, it's about elevating you above the limitations of the world. You are being called to see beyond the physical, to tap into the unseen, and to live from a place of divine knowing. This is where miracles happen, where manifestations occur, and where you begin to walk in the fullness of your power. But in order to access this level of consciousness, you must first be isolated. You must be still, be silent, and be willing to let go of the old so that you can step into the new. It's important to understand that isolation is not a permanent state. It is a season, a necessary phase in your journey, but it will not last forever. There will come a time when God will call you out of isolation, and you will step into the world with a new sense of purpose, a new sense of clarity, and a new sense of power. But you must be patient during this season. You must allow God to do the work He is doing in you. Rushing the process will only hinder your growth. Trust that God's timing is perfect, and that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. In this period of isolation, you are being given the opportunity to strengthen your faith. Faith is not just a belief in God, it is a deep, unwavering trust that God is working everything out for your good, even when you cannot see it. This is the essence of faith, to walk by faith, not by sight. To trust in the unseen, in the promises of God, even when your circumstances tell you otherwise. Isolation strengthens this faith because it forces you to rely solely on God. There is no one else to lean on, no one else to turn to, and in this space, you learn that God is enough. He is your provider, your protector, your guide, and your source of strength. You are being prepared for something greater. God is isolating you because He is preparing you for a role, a mission, a purpose that requires you to be fully aligned with Him. This preparation is not always easy, but it is necessary. You are being equipped with the tools, the knowledge, and the wisdom that you will need to fulfill your divine assignment. Do not despise this time of preparation. Embrace it, knowing that God is shaping you into the person you need to be in order to carry out His plan for your life. Chosen ones, you are being transformed. The isolation is not just about removing you from the world, it is about transforming you from the inside out. God is renewing your mind, refining your spirit, and aligning your heart with His will. This transformation is a process, and it takes time, but when you emerge from this season, you will be a new creation, equipped and empowered to walk in your purpose with confidence and clarity. Do not disappear in this isolation. Do not retreat into the shadows or allow fear to consume you. This is your time to rise, to stand firm in your faith, and to trust that God is leading you exactly where you need to be. The isolation may be uncomfortable, but it is in the discomfort that growth occurs. It is in the silence that revelations are given. It is in the solitude that you are drawn closer to God. Chosen ones, you are being set apart for a reason. God is isolating you because He is preparing you for something greater. Trust the process. Trust the isolation. Trust that God is with you every step of the way. In this sacred period of isolation, you are being called to dive deeper into the mysteries of life and your relationship with the divine. It may feel as though everything familiar is being stripped away, that you are left in the wilderness with nothing but your own thoughts and the presence of God. But understand this, the wilderness is where the most profound transformations occur. It is where you discover who you truly are without the influence of the world telling you who to be. It is where the illusions fall away and the truth of your being emerges. You are being given the gift of seeing yourself clearly through God's eyes, without the distortions of societal expectations and the judgments of others. As chosen ones, you have been set apart for a divine purpose, and that purpose cannot be fulfilled while you are entangled in the distractions of everyday life. There are times when God needs to pull you away from the noise, from the chaos, so that you can hear His voice more clearly. This is why isolation is necessary. It is in the stillness that you begin to hear the whispers of God's guidance, the nudges of the Spirit leading you toward your destiny. In this space, you are being recalibrated, refocused, and recentered on the things that truly matter. The isolation may feel uncomfortable at times, even painful, but remember that growth rarely happens in comfort. Just as a seed must be buried in darkness before it can sprout into the light, you too must go through this season of isolation to emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your divine purpose. The discomfort you feel is not meant to harm you, it is meant to stretch you, to expand your capacity for faith, for love, and for understanding. You are being prepared for a greater calling, and that preparation requires moments of solitude, moments where you are forced to rely on nothing but God and your inner strength. This process is not about punishment, it is about preparation. God isolates you because He sees what you cannot yet see. He knows the path that lies ahead, and He knows what you will need in order to navigate it successfully. This period of isolation is where He equips you with the tools, the wisdom, and the resilience that you will need to fulfill your destiny. It is where He sharpens your vision, strengthens your resolve, and deepens your connection to Him. Trust that this isolation is not a delay or a setback, it is a necessary step in the unfolding of your divine purpose. In isolation, you are also given the opportunity to shed the old versions of yourself that no longer serve you. There are aspects of your personality, your beliefs, and your habits that may have been formed through your interactions with the world, but they are not aligned with your true self. This is the time for releasing those parts of you that have been shaped by fear, by insecurity, and by the need for external validation. God is inviting you to step into your authentic self, the self that is free from the limitations of the past, the self that is fully aligned with His will. You may feel as though you are being separated from people, from opportunities, and from the life you once knew. But understand that this separation is divine. God is removing the distractions, the relationships, and the circumstances that no longer serve your highest good. He is clearing the path so that you can walk forward with clarity and purpose. The people who are meant to be in your life will remain, and those who are not will fall away. This is not a loss, but a divine realignment. Trust that everything and everyone that is leaving your life during this time is making space for what is truly meant for you. As chosen ones, you are called to live a life that is different from the world. You are called to operate from a higher level of consciousness, a level where you are guided by faith rather than fear, by love rather than judgment. This is why God isolates you, so that you can develop the spiritual maturity needed to walk this path. The world will try to pull you back into its ways, but in isolation you learn to stand firm in your faith, to trust in the unseen, and to live from a place of divine knowing. You begin to understand that your power does not come from external circumstances or the approval of others. It comes from within, from your connection to the divine. In this time of isolation, you are also being called to cultivate patience. The journey of a chosen one is not a sprint, it is a marathon. There will be times when it feels as though nothing is happening, when the promises of God seem distant, but it is in those moments that your faith is being strengthened. Patience is not about waiting idly, it is about trusting in the process, trusting that God's timing is perfect, even when it does not align with your own. In isolation, you are being taught the art of surrender, the ability to let go of your need for control, and to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This isolation is also a time for reflection. You are being given the space to look inward, to examine your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions. It is a time to assess whether you are living in alignment with your true self, or if you have been swayed by the expectations of the world. God is giving you the opportunity to course correct, to make adjustments, and to realign yourself with His will. This is a time for deep introspection, for asking the hard questions, and for seeking the answers that come from within. You may feel as though you are in a period of waiting, but understand that waiting is not wasted time. God is using this time to prepare you, to mold you, and to shape you into the person you need to be in order to fulfill your divine assignment. This waiting is a time of growth, a time of strengthening, and a time of deepening your faith. Trust that God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events, and aligning circumstances in your favor. Just because you cannot see it does not mean that it is not happening. During this isolation, you will also begin to understand the importance of detachment. As chosen ones, you are being called to live in the world, but not be of the world. This means that you must learn to detach from the material, from the external, and from the things that do not contribute to your spiritual growth. Isolation teaches you the power of detachment. It shows you that your worth is not tied to your possessions, your status, or your relationships. Your worth comes from your connection to God, and that is something that can never be taken away. You may feel alone during this time, but understand that you are never truly alone. God is with you every step of the way, guiding you, supporting you, and protecting you. This isolation is not meant to make you feel abandoned. It is meant to draw you closer to God. In this space, you are being invited to lean on Him in ways that you never have before. You are being called to deepen your trust, to strengthen your faith, and to rely on Him as your source of strength. This is a time of divine revelation. In isolation, you are being given the opportunity to receive insights, wisdom, and guidance that will propel you forward on your journey. This is a time when God speaks to you more clearly, when the noise of the world is silenced, and you are able to hear His voice more distinctly. Pay attention to the signs, the dreams, and the messages that come to you during this time. They are not coincidences, they are divine communications meant to guide you on your path. You are being called to rise above the limitations of the world and to step into your divine power. This isolation is preparing you for something greater, something that requires you to be fully aligned with your purpose and with God's will. Trust the process, trust the isolation, and trust that everything is working together for your good. This is your time to be still, to listen, and to allow God to do His work in you. As chosen ones, you are being set apart for a reason. This isolation is not a punishment, it is a preparation. God is shaping you, molding you, and preparing you for a divine assignment that requires you to be fully aligned with Him. Do not resist this process. Embrace it, knowing that it is leading you toward your destiny. Trust that God is with you, guiding you, and supporting you every step of the way. You are being prepared for something greater, something divine, and this isolation is a necessary part of that preparation. Trust the process, trust God, and trust yourself. In this space of isolation, it is important to realize that what may seem like loneliness is actually divine protection. You are not isolated because you are forgotten, you are isolated because you are chosen. There are battles that God is shielding you from, relationships that He is pulling you away from, and situations that He is redirecting you out of. You may not fully understand it now, but there is a reason for every closed door, every unanswered prayer, and every moment of solitude. In these moments, God is protecting you from things that would hinder your growth, your progress, and your alignment with His will. This isolation is a form of divine protection, a shelter from the storm, and a safe haven where you can recalibrate and prepare for the next chapter of your life. God isolates you because He knows the weight of the assignment on your life. As a chosen one, your path is not like that of others. There is a higher calling on your life, and with that calling comes a greater responsibility. God is not interested in quick fixes or temporary success. He is interested in the long game, in the fulfillment of your purpose over the course of your life. This is why He takes the time to isolate you, to prepare you, and to equip you for the journey ahead. He knows the battles you will face, the challenges you will encounter, and the obstacles that will come your way. In this time of isolation, He is strengthening you, refining you, and preparing you for the battles that lie ahead. You may feel as though you are missing out on life, that while others are moving forward, you are standing still. But understand this: God's timing is perfect. While it may seem like nothing is happening, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. There is a divine timing for everything. And just because it is not happening in your time does not mean it is not happening. God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events, aligning circumstances, and preparing the way for you. This isolation is not a delay, it is a preparation. It is a time for you to build your spiritual muscles, to deepen your faith, and to develop the resilience that will carry you through the challenges ahead. In this period of isolation, you are also being called to release control. As chosen ones, we often feel the need to be in control, to have everything figured out, and to know exactly what is going to happen next. But God is calling you to surrender that need for control and to trust in His plan. This isolation is a time for you to let go of your expectations, your timelines, and your need for certainty. It is a time for you to lean into faith, to trust that God's plan is greater than anything you could imagine, and to believe that He is working all things together for your good. This is a time for surrender, for letting go of the need to have all the answers, and for trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The isolation you are experiencing is also an invitation to deepen your relationship with God. In the busyness of life, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters. We get caught up in the demands of the world, in the pursuit of success, and in the approval of others. But in isolation, God is calling you back to Him. He is inviting you to spend time in His presence, to seek His guidance, and to deepen your connection with Him. This is a time for prayer, for meditation, and for listening to the still, small voice of God. In this space, you will find the peace, the clarity, and the direction that you need to move forward. As chosen ones, we are not called to walk the same path as everyone else. We are called to a higher standard, to a deeper level of faith, and to a greater level of responsibility. This is why God isolates us, because He knows that we cannot fulfill our purpose if we are distracted by the things of the world. He knows that in order to walk in our calling, we must be set apart, we must be focused, and we must be fully aligned with His will. This isolation is a time for you to refocus, to realign, and to recommit to the path that God has set before you. You may feel as though you are being stripped of everything familiar, that the life you once knew is falling away. But understand that this stripping away is necessary for your growth. God is removing the things that no longer serve you, the relationships that are holding you back, and the circumstances that are not aligned with your purpose. He is clearing the way for something greater, something that is in alignment with His plan for your life. This is not a time of loss, it is a time of preparation. God is making space for the new, for the things that are truly meant for you, and for the opportunities that are in alignment with your highest good. In isolation, you are also being called to cultivate inner strength. The path of the chosen ones is not an easy one. There will be challenges, there will be obstacles, and there will be moments of doubt. But in this time of isolation, God is teaching you to rely on your inner strength, to trust in your own resilience, and to believe in your ability to overcome anything that comes your way. This is a time for you to build your spiritual muscles, to strengthen your faith, and to develop the fortitude that will carry you through the storms of life. In this space, you are learning that your strength does not come from external circumstances or from the approval of others. It comes from within, from your connection to God. This period of isolation is also a time for you to redefine your priorities. In the busyness of life, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters. We get caught up in the pursuit of success, in the desire for recognition, and in the need for external validation. But in isolation, God is calling you to reassess your priorities, to realign your focus, and to remember what truly matters. This is a time for you to let go of the things that are not serving your highest good, to release the need for external approval, and to focus on the things that are in alignment with your purpose. This is a time for you to refocus on your relationship with God, on your spiritual growth, and on the things that truly matter in the grand scheme of your life. In isolation, you are also being given the opportunity to heal. There may be wounds from the past, unresolved pain, or unhealed trauma that you have been carrying with you. In the busyness of life, it is easy to push these things aside, to avoid dealing with them, and to distract yourself with external pursuits. But in isolation, God is giving you the space to heal, to release the past, and to step into a new chapter of your life. This is a time for deep healing, for letting go of the things that have been holding you back, and for stepping into the fullness of who you are meant to be. You may feel as though you are in a period of waiting, but understand that this waiting is not wasted time. God is using this time to prepare you, to equip you, and to mold you into the person you need to be in order to fulfill your purpose. This waiting is a time of growth, a time of strengthening, and a time of deepening your faith. Trust that God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events, and aligning circumstances in your favor. Just because you cannot see it does not mean that it is not happening. Trust that God's timing is perfect, and that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. In this time of isolation, you are being given the opportunity to reconnect with your true self. In the busyness of life, it is easy to lose sight of who you truly are, to get caught up in the expectations of the world, and to forget your divine nature. But in isolation, God is inviting you to rediscover your true self, to reconnect with your soul, and to remember the truth of who you are. This is a time for self-reflection, for introspection, and for deepening your understanding of yourself. You are being given the space to rediscover your passions, your purpose, and your divine calling. This isolation is not a punishment, it is a gift. It is a time for you to grow, to heal, and to transform. It is a time for you to deepen your relationship with God, to strengthen your faith, and to align yourself with your divine purpose. This is a time of preparation, a time of recalibration, and a time of spiritual growth. Trust that everything is happening for a reason, and that this isolation is a necessary step in your journey as a chosen one. Trust the process, trust God, and trust that you are being guided toward your highest good. As you continue to walk through this season of isolation, it is crucial to understand that the silence around you is not a void, it's a divine conversation happening between you and God. In these quiet moments, you may feel like your prayers aren't being answered, or that your cries for help are falling on deaf ears. But know this: God is always listening, and more importantly, He is responding in ways that you might not yet comprehend. What seems like a pause in your life is, in fact, a moment of profound spiritual growth. In the isolation, you are being given the opportunity to hear God in a way that is not possible when you are surrounded by the noise and distractions of the world. The stillness is not a punishment or a sign of abandonment. It is a chance for you to cultivate a deeper awareness of God's presence. In the silence, your soul begins to resonate with the truth that God is always near, always working in your favor. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but His presence is constant and unwavering. It is in these moments of quiet that you can begin to hear the subtle whispers of divine guidance, the gentle nudges that lead you toward your destiny. Sometimes God speaks in a thunderous voice that shakes the foundations of your world, but more often than not, He speaks in the soft, quiet moments when you are alone with Him. This isolation is a divine classroom. It is here, in this solitude, that you are being taught some of the most important lessons of your life. The greatest teachers are often not the loudest voices, but rather the quiet spaces where you are forced to confront yourself, your fears, your doubts, and your deepest desires. In this sacred space, you are learning patience, perseverance, and trust. Patience because you are realizing that good things take time, perseverance because you are building the strength to keep going even when the path is unclear, and trust because you are learning to rely on God's plan even when it doesn't match your own. You may be wondering why the isolation is so long, why the waiting seems endless. But remember, great things take time to manifest. Just as a seed must be buried in the ground and remain hidden before it can sprout and grow, so too must you be hidden for a time. This hidden season is not a period of inactivity, it is a time of preparation. In the same way that a seed must break through its shell and root itself deeply before it can rise toward the light, you are in the process of rooting yourself in faith, in purpose, and in divine truth. The chosen ones are often hidden away for a time because their purpose is too great to be rushed. The weight of your calling requires deep preparation. You cannot rush the process of becoming who you are meant to be. Like a diamond that is formed under immense pressure over time, your purpose is being shaped and refined in this season of isolation. The pressures you feel are not meant to crush you, but to refine you, to bring out the brilliance and strength that is already within you. Trust that the time you are spending in isolation is necessary for your transformation. In this time of solitude, God is working on your heart. He is softening the rough edges, healing the wounds you may have carried for years, and preparing your spirit for the greatness that lies ahead. Sometimes we are so focused on the external circumstances of our lives, our careers, relationships, and material success that we neglect the internal work that needs to be done. But God knows that in order for you to walk in the fullness of your calling, your heart must be whole, your spirit must be strong, and your mind must be aligned with His will. This isolation is a time for inner healing, for soul deep restoration, and for spiritual alignment. The temptation to disappear during this period is strong. You may feel like giving up, retreating from your purpose, and letting go of the dreams you once held so tightly. But don't. Don't let the silence convince you that God has forgotten you. Don't let the solitude make you believe that your purpose no longer matters. This is precisely the time when you need to stand firm, to hold on to your faith, and to trust that God is still moving in your life, even when you cannot see it. Remember that God isolates His chosen ones not to diminish them, but to prepare them for something far greater than they could ever imagine. In moments when the weight of isolation feels unbearable, turn your focus inward and upward. Use this time to deepen your relationship with God, to grow in your understanding of His Word, and to cultivate a deeper faith that can carry you through any storm. The isolation is a gift, even if it doesn't feel like one right now. It is an opportunity to grow in ways that are not possible when you are surrounded by distractions. It is a time to strengthen your connection with God, to refine your purpose, and to prepare for the next chapter of your life. You may feel like you are missing out on the opportunities and experiences that others are having, but understand this: what is meant for you will not pass you by. The doors that God has destined for you to walk through will open when the time is right, and not a moment before. You are not behind, you are exactly where you need to be. The isolation is not a detour, it is part of the journey. Trust that God's timing is perfect, and that the opportunities He has for you are far greater than anything you could imagine. In this time of waiting, let go of the need to compare your journey to that of others. Your path is unique because your purpose is unique. God is not asking you to walk the same path as everyone else. He is asking you to walk the path that He has specifically designed for you. This is why the isolation is necessary, because you cannot fulfill your divine purpose if you are too focused on the world's expectations. You are being set apart for something greater, and that requires a season of separation. As difficult as it may be, learn to find peace in the isolation. Learn to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The isolation is not a punishment, it is a preparation. It is a time for you to become the person you need to be in order to fulfill the purpose that God has placed on your life. Trust the process even when it doesn't make sense. Trust that God's plan is greater than anything you could ever imagine. And trust that when the time is right, you will emerge from this isolation stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the blessings that are coming your way. Remember, the greatest transformations often happen in the quietest moments. Just as a caterpillar must retreat into its cocoon before it can emerge as a butterfly, so too must you retreat into this season of isolation before you can fully step into your divine purpose. This is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of a new chapter. Embrace the isolation, for it is in this sacred space that you are being transformed into the person you were always meant to be. As you continue to walk through this season of isolation, hold on to the truth that God is with you every step of the way. You are not alone, and you are not forgotten. You are being prepared for something far greater than you can imagine. Trust the process, trust God's plan, and trust that your breakthrough is closer than you think. As you move through this period of isolation, recognize it as a profound blessing in disguise. It is not meant to break you, but to build you into the person who can fully step into the purpose God has laid out for you. This time of separation is sacred, is where you reconnect with the divine, strengthen your faith, and heal the parts of you that need restoration. Trust that you are never truly alone. God is with you, guiding you every step of the way. In this space, your spiritual foundation is being fortified, your path is being clarified, and your heart is being prepared for greater things. Do not resist this process or see it as a delay. Instead, embrace it as the divine setup that it truly is. Every moment of solitude is an opportunity for growth. Every unanswered question is an invitation to deepen your trust in God's perfect timing. Let go of the urge to disappear, and instead stand firm in the knowing that God is shaping you for the extraordinary. What is ahead of you is far greater than what is behind. Believe in the power of this divine isolation and know that your breakthrough is on the horizon. The power of awareness is the key to unlocking the divine manifestation within you. It is not something distant, separate, or reserved for the chosen few. It is within, waiting only for your recognition. When you become aware of the infinite presence of God within you, you awaken to the truth that all things are possible, and creation itself bends to your conscious direction. You have been given dominion over your world, not through effort or struggle, but through the simple act of knowing. To be aware of God's power in you is to stand in the certainty that you are the vessel through which the unseen becomes seen. The world you experience is nothing more than the outpicturing of your inner convictions. What you assume to be true, with feeling and persistence, will crystallize into reality. Man has long searched for power outside himself, pleading with external forces to grant him the desires of his heart. Yet all along the great secret has been concealed in plain sight. The kingdom of God is within. The power you seek is not something to be gained, for you already possess it. It is only through your awareness of this power that you can bring it forth. What you accept as true in the silence of your mind becomes your lived experience. If you see yourself as limited, as struggling, as lacking, then that is the world you will create. But the moment you turn inward and recognize that you and the Father are one, that His power is the very essence of your being, then nothing can stand between you and your fulfilled desires. You must claim what is already yours. Do not wait for signs, create them. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Walk in the conviction that it is already done, and reality will rearrange itself to reflect your inner state. Your faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the formless and the formed. God awareness is not mere belief. It is the recognition of your divine inheritance. It is the knowing that what you desire is already yours, not by chance but by law. The moment you accept this truth, the moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you set into motion the unseen forces that bring it to pass. Your consciousness is the creator of all that you experience. There is no power outside of you that determines your fate. You are the operant power, the one who commands and directs the unseen into form. To be aware of God's power in you is to walk in the certainty that all things are possible. For with God there is no limitation. Your only task is to remain faithful to the vision you hold within. Do not look to the world for confirmation, for the world only echoes what you have already accepted as true. Persist in the assumption of your desired state, and know beyond all doubt that what you seek is already yours. Awaken to the divine within, and you will see that nothing is withheld from you. The power to manifest is not something to be found, it is something to be realized. The mind in its infinite capacity is the very seat of creation. Every thought, every assumption, every inner dialogue is a seed planted in the soil of consciousness, waiting to bloom into tangible form. The world around you is not separate from you, it is you, expressed outwardly. To know this is to hold the key to transformation. To be aware of the power of God within is to recognize that you are not at the mercy of circumstances, but rather the architect of them. The great illusion that has held humanity captive is the belief that life is happening to you, that you are subject to forces outside of yourself, that chance, luck, or fate dictate your reality. But the truth, eternal and unchanging, is that everything you experience originates from within. The unseen world of thought, imagination, and feeling is the only reality, for it is from this unseen realm that the visible world takes shape. To know this is to no longer live as a servant to conditions, but as a master over them. You no longer beg, plead, or wait in hope. You assume, declare, and command. The moment you shift your inner state, the outer world must follow, for it is bound by law to reflect your awareness. Your consciousness is the master key that unlocks every door. Look not to appearances, for they are but shadows of past imaginings. The moment you give power to the external, you bind yourself to its limitations. But when you turn inward and recognize the divine presence within, you are freed from every bondage. That which seems impossible in the world of form becomes inevitable when you accept it as true within. All that you desire already exists, awaiting your recognition. The very fact that you can conceive of something means it is yours by divine right. You need not struggle, force, or strive. The effortless assumption of its reality is all that is required. The moment you align with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the moment you walk in the knowing that it is already done, creation moves to make it so. Do not be deceived by the seeming delay of time. What is real exists now, and what you persistently assume must become your lived experience. The mind, when disciplined in the awareness of God's power, is the most potent force in existence. It calls into being that which was not seen, and commands the elements of reality to take form according to its direction. Every great change, every miraculous transformation has begun first as an unseen conviction. The man who rises from poverty to wealth, from sickness to health, from despair to joy, has done so not by chance, but by an inner shift. He has seen himself as he wishes to be and has refused to accept any other reality. He has persisted in the assumption of his ideal, despite what the senses report, and the world has reshaped itself to match his inner vision. The key is unwavering faith in the unseen. When you know that God's power is within you, when you cease to doubt and instead live in the certainty that your assumption is reality, nothing can prevent its manifestation. The only obstacle is your own disbelief. The moment you waver, the moment you entertain thoughts of lack, separation, or failure, you undo the work of creation. You must guard your mind with diligence. Every thought, every emotion is a creative act, and the world you experience is the sum of what you have entertained within. Do not allow yourself to dwell on limitation, for what you persistently focus upon must become your reality. Instead, dwell only on that which you desire to see made manifest. Occupy the state of your ideal, live in the consciousness of already having, and the world will respond in kind. The divine law is unfailing. What you assume to be true with deep conviction must externalize in your world. There is no force in existence that can prevent the fulfillment of an inner state once it is held with unwavering certainty. Your only responsibility is to remain faithful to the assumption, to live in the joy of already possessing what you seek, and to allow creation to unfold in perfect order. Your imagination is the divine instrument through which all things are made. It is the bridge between the formless and the formed, the unseen and the seen. To imagine yourself as you wish to be and to persist in that assumption is the act of creation itself. The world bends to the will of the one who knows his own power, for he walks not in uncertainty, but in the awareness that all things are already his. If you wish to see a new reality, you must first accept it as real within. Do not look to the world for confirmation. Look only to your inner state. Feel the joy, the relief, the gratitude of already having, and let that feeling dominate your consciousness. This is the divine secret. What you feel with conviction, what you accept as true with persistence, must become the fabric of your reality. The law is absolute, and it does not fail. The only requirement is your awareness, your willingness to claim what is already yours. The moment you take possession within, the outer world moves in perfect alignment to reflect that assumption. The power of God in you is limitless, waiting only for your recognition. Doubt not, question not, for every act of doubt is an act of uncreation. Stand firm in your knowing, unwavering in your assumption, and the world must conform. Every great achievement, every fulfilled dream, every transformation of circumstance has been brought forth in this way, through the quiet certainty of one who knows that what he imagines with faith must come to pass. It matters not where you stand today. It matters not what conditions surround you, what past failures haunt you, or what limitations seem insurmountable. The moment you shift within, the outer must follow. The world cannot resist the command of the one who moves in the awareness of divine power. See yourself now as you wish to be. Feel it, accept it, live in the joy of its reality, and know beyond all doubt that it is done. The power that created all things, that moves mountains and calls forth miracles, is within you. The world is but the reflection of your awareness. Choose now to live in the certainty of your divine inheritance, and nothing shall be impossible for you. The power of God awareness is the great mystery, the divine secret hidden in plain sight, waiting for your recognition. It is not something to be attained, for it has never been absent. It is not something outside of you, for it is the very essence of your being. The moment you awaken to this truth, you become the master of your world. The unseen power that shapes all things dwells within, and your awareness of it is the key to unlocking every desire of your heart. To know this is to no longer live by effort or struggle, but by divine certainty. The world around you is but a mirror, reflecting your inner state. What you accept as true within must appear without. This is not philosophy, nor is it mere belief. It is law. The universe itself moves in accordance with the assumptions you hold. The conditions of your life, the circumstances you face, the people you encounter, all conform to the dominant ideas you entertain in your consciousness. Look around you and you will see nothing but the outpicturing of your inner convictions. If you live in the awareness of lack, your world will be filled with struggle. If you dwell in fear, you will encounter obstacles at every turn. But if you accept the truth of your divine power, if you assume the feeling of already being the person you wish to be, the entire world must shift to reflect this new awareness. Nothing exists outside of consciousness. There is no power in the external world apart from the power you assign it. The things you fear, the obstacles you perceive, the limitations you believe in are but reflections of your inner state. Change the state and the reflection must change. This is the great revelation, that your inner world is the only reality and the outer world is its faithful servant. To be aware of God's power in you is to walk in absolute confidence. You need not look to others for validation nor seek permission to be great. The divine power within you is limitless, waiting only for your command. The world will call it a miracle, but you will know it as the natural result of law. What you assume with conviction, what you accept as real in the unseen, do not concern yourself with the how, for that is not your work. The means by which your desires unfold are beyond your limited understanding, but the law is sure. The moment you claim a thing in consciousness, the unseen forces of creation begin to move, arranging circumstances, shifting reality, aligning events in perfect order to bring it forth. The delay, if there is one, is only in your own wavering, in your own doubt, in your own failure to persist in the assumption of already having. You must live in the end, dwell in the state of already being what you desire to be. Feel the joy now, not in some distant future, but in this very moment. The world may contradict it, appearances may suggest otherwise, but reality is not determined by what your senses report. It is determined by what you hold as true within. Persist in the feeling of already having, and the world will bow to your assumption. This is the great work. To discipline the mind, to guard against every thought that contradicts your desire, to reject every suggestion of limitation. You must become the master of your own consciousness, the ruler of your own kingdom. For as you think in your heart, so shall you be. The power of God awareness is the recognition that you are not subject to fate, nor bound by the past, nor at the mercy of conditions. You are the creator, the one who commands reality by the authority of your own inner knowing. See yourself now as you wish to be. Feel it deeply, believe it fully, and let it become the only reality you accept. Do not entertain thoughts of doubt or failure, for they are but illusions. The truth is that you are already one with your ideal. The moment you claim it, the moment you accept it as done, the process of manifestation begins. It does not matter how long the world takes to reflect it. Your work is only to remain faithful to the vision. Every great achievement, every transformation, every so-called miracle has been wrought by this very principle. Those who have risen from obscurity to greatness, from sickness to health, from poverty to abundance, have done so not by chance, but by an unshakable faith in the unseen. They have refused to accept appearances as final, and instead they have lived in the awareness of their already attained desires. The world will tell you to be realistic, to accept things as they are. But the awakened one knows that things are as they are only because they have been accepted as such. Reality is fluid, ever-changing, shaped and molded by the contents of consciousness. If you would change your world, change yourself. Assume the feeling of already possessing that which you seek, and it must be yours. Be unwavering in your knowing. Let no external circumstance shake your confidence. Even if the world seems to show the opposite of your desire, stand firm in the assumption that it is already done. The world is but a shadow of past thoughts, and as you persist in your new assumption, the shadow must change. To live in the awareness of God's power within you is to live free. Free from fear, free from limitation, free from doubt. You are not a victim of life. You are its master. Every moment is an opportunity to affirm the truth of your divine nature. Every thought is a choice to either accept limitation or embrace the infinite. Dare to believe in the unseen. Dare to claim your divine inheritance. Walk as one who already has, not as one who hopes to receive. Let the feeling of fulfillment saturate your being, and the world must conform. This is the law, and it does not fail. The power that created the universe, that set the stars in motion, that formed the very fabric of reality, is the same power that dwells within you. To recognize this is to unlock the limitless potential of creation. Let go of all doubts, all hesitations, all thoughts of separation. You and the divine are one, and there is no power outside of you that can dictate your reality. The moment you accept this truth, the moment you align with the feeling of already being what you desire, nothing in existence can prevent its manifestation. Look within, for there is the source of all power. Recognize it, claim it, and live in the certainty of your divine authority. The world is yours to shape. For the power of God, awareness is the key to unlocking all things. Persist, believe, and know beyond all doubt that it is already done. There is no force outside of you that determines your destiny. The only power that exists is the power within you. The power of your awareness, the power of your assumption, the power of your belief in the unseen. Everything you experience is a reflection of the inner world you have accepted as true. To change anything in your life, you must first change the way you perceive yourself. The moment you identify with a new state of being, the world must conform. It has no choice, for it is an obedient servant to the contents of your consciousness. You are not bound by past conditions, nor are you limited by the circumstances that currently surround you. The only limitation is your own unwillingness to believe in the unseen reality that already exists within you. The moment you step into the awareness of your desires already fulfilled, the external world will rearrange itself in ways beyond your comprehension to make it so. Do not be deceived by appearances. The things you see around you are nothing more than the echoes of past assumptions. If you react to them as if they are final, you condemn yourself to repeating them. But if you recognize them for what they are, shadows of an old state, you will free yourself to step into a new reality. Hold steadfastly to the feeling of already being the person you wish to be, and in time your world must reflect this new awareness. The secret is to live from the state of already having, already being, already possessing. Most people live in a state of waiting. They wait for evidence, they wait for proof, they wait for circumstances to change before they allow themselves to feel fulfilled. But this is an inversion of the truth. Reality does not shape itself first and then grant you permission to believe. It is your belief, your inner conviction, that gives birth to reality. You must be bold in your assumption. You must dare to claim your desire as already yours. Do not look to the world for validation, for it cannot give you what you have not first accepted within yourself. Look only within. Cultivate the deep, unwavering awareness that what you seek is already done. Walk in this knowing. Speak as one who already has. Think as one who already is, and move through life in the certainty that what you have assumed must come to pass. The world may try to tell you otherwise. It may present obstacles, delays, seeming failures, but these are only tests of your conviction. Will you waver? Will you doubt? Or will you persist in your assumption, knowing that all things must yield to the one who remains faithful to his inner vision? The choice is always yours. The power is always in your hands. You have been given dominion over your world not through force or struggle, but through the effortless assumption of that which you desire to be. The law is simple. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and it must become your experience. There is no exception, no circumstance that can override this truth. The only thing that can delay your manifestation is your own hesitation, your own doubt, your own unwillingness to accept your divine power. You must discipline your mind to dwell only on that which you desire to see manifested. Reject all thoughts of limitation, all feelings of lack, all beliefs in impossibility. These are illusions, distortions of the truth. The only reality is that which you accept within. The world outside is a mere shadow, following in the footsteps of your inner convictions. To live in the awareness of God's power within you is to live free. Free from fear, free from uncertainty, free from the false belief that you are separate from the source of all creation. The truth is that you and the divine are one. There is no barrier between you and your highest ideal. The only requirement is that you accept this truth and act in accordance with it. Act not by effort but by assumption. Live as if you already are the person you wish to be. Feel the reality of your desire with such intensity that the world has no choice but to reflect it. This is not wishful thinking, nor is it mere imagination. It is the creative process itself, the divine act of calling into being that which is already yours. Every great change, every miracle, every transformation that has ever occurred has been the result of an inner shift. Those who have risen from obscurity to greatness, from illness to health, from lack to abundance, have done so not by chance, but by the conscious assumption of a new identity. They have refused to accept the limitations of the past and have instead walked boldly in the knowing that they are already what they desire to be. You must do the same. You must look beyond appearances, beyond conditions, beyond all seeming obstacles, and declare within yourself, I am. I am already what I desire to be. I am already in possession of all that I seek. And because I am, the world must confirm it. The moment you shift your awareness, the moment you accept a new state as real, the world will begin to shift accordingly. You may not see the evidence immediately, but do not be deceived. The wheels of creation are already in motion. And if you persist in your assumption, the external world will be compelled to align with your new inner state. This is the divine gift you have been given, the power to create, to shape reality, to bring forth whatever you hold as true within. There is no force that can oppose it, no limitation that can withstand it. The only question is whether you will claim this power or continue to live in the illusion of limitation. Awaken now to the truth of your being. Awaken to the limitless power that resides within you. Do not wait for circumstances to change. Change yourself, and circumstances must follow. Do not seek permission from the world. Grant yourself permission to be, to have, to express the fullness of your divine nature. The world is but clay in the hands of the potter, and you are the one who molds it. With every thought, every assumption, every feeling, you are shaping reality. Do not waste this power by entertaining thoughts of lack or fear. Instead, use it wisely, consciously, deliberately. Assume only the best, believe only in the highest, and the world will reflect it back to you in ways more wondrous than you can imagine. You are not here to suffer. You are not here to struggle. You are here to awaken, to remember, to step into the full awareness of who you truly are. The power of God is within you, waiting only for your recognition. Accept it now, live from it now, walk in the certainty of your divine inheritance, and nothing shall be impossible for you. There is no greater truth than this. The power of God is within you, and you are the creator of your own experience. Everything you seek, everything you desire, already exists in the unseen. It is only awaiting your recognition, your acceptance, your unwavering conviction that it is already done. The moment you step into the awareness of this truth, you become the master of your reality. You have been conditioned to believe that power lies outside of you, that circumstances dictate your fate, that life happens to you rather than through you. But this is the great deception, the illusion that has bound humanity for centuries. The truth is that you are always creating, whether you are aware of it or not. Every thought you persist in, every belief you entertain, every feeling you dwell upon is shaping the reality you experience. The world is not separate from you. It is a reflection of you. Look no further than your own consciousness, for there is the source of all that you see. If you wish to change your life, you must first change the assumptions you hold about yourself. No external force has the power to limit you unless you give it permission through your belief. No condition, no past failure, no obstacle has any authority over you unless you accept it as true. The moment you withdraw your attention from that which you do not wish to experience and place it solely upon that which you desire, the change is set in motion. What you imagine with feeling, what you claim with conviction, what you accept as already real within, must externalize in your world. This is the law. There is no exception. It does not matter how impossible it may seem to the reasoning mind, nor how contrary it may appear to the senses. The law is unfailing. What you assume to be true with deep conviction will harden into fact. You are never waiting on the world to change. The world is waiting on you. It is waiting for you to shift your awareness, to step into a new state, to abandon the old identity that no longer serves you. The moment you fully accept the new state as your reality, the world must bow to your assumption. This is not theory, nor is it mere positive thinking. It is the fundamental truth of creation. See yourself now as the person you wish to be. Feel the reality of your fulfilled desire with every fiber of your being. Walk in the assumption that is already done, that is already yours, that you have already become all that you seek. This is the key. This is the great secret. The world does not respond to wishful thinking, nor to idle daydreaming, but to the deep, unshakable knowing that what you assume within must be expressed without. You need not concern yourself with how it will happen. The means by which your desires unfold are not your responsibility. The how is taken care of by divine law. Your only task is to remain faithful to your assumption, to persist in the inner knowing that it is already yours. Let go of doubt, let go of worry, let go of the need to control the details. Simply rest in the awareness that all things are already yours. The great ones throughout history have understood this truth. They have not been victims of circumstance, nor have they accepted the world's limitations as final. Instead, they have lived in the certainty of their inner vision, knowing that what they assumed with conviction must become their reality. They have walked in the feeling of their desires already fulfilled, and the world has shaped itself in response to their unwavering faith. You are no different. The same power that has moved mountains, that has raised the lowly to greatness, that has transformed lives in an instant, is within you now. It is not reserved for the few. It is not something to be attained. It is yours by divine right. The only question is whether you will claim it, whether you will stand in the full awareness of your own creative power, whether you will dare to assume that you are already the person you wish to be. Nothing is withheld from you. The only barriers are the ones you have accepted as real. The moment you reject them, the moment you refuse to accept anything less than the fulfillment of your highest vision, the world must comply. The only limitations are the ones you impose upon yourself. The only obstacles are the ones you believe in. The moment you step into the consciousness of already having, already being, already possessing, every chain is broken. Be steadfast in your knowing. Let nothing shake your conviction. Even when the world presents evidence to the contrary, remain firm in your assumption. The world is but a shadow, a reflection of past thoughts, past beliefs, past states of consciousness. As you persist in your new assumption, the shadow must change. It has no power of its own. It is an obedient servant to your awareness. Live now as the person you wish to be. Think from the state of your fulfilled desire, not of it. Embody it fully, claim it as yours, and let the feeling of its reality saturate your being. There is no power in existence that can oppose the one who walks in the awareness of divine authority. There is no force that can withhold from the one who knows his own creative power. You are not separate from God. You are not distant from the divine. The very power that created the universe, that set the stars in motion, that called forth all things into existence, dwells within you. To recognize this is to unlock the limitless potential of creation. To accept this is to step into the fullness of your divine inheritance. Do not wait for conditions to change. Change yourself, and the conditions must follow. Do not wait for the world to confirm your assumption. Assume it now, and the world will shape itself accordingly. The moment you step into the awareness of already having, already being, already possessing, the work is done. You are the creator of your reality. You are the one who commands the unseen into form. You are the one who shapes the world by the power of your awareness. There is nothing you cannot be, nothing you cannot do, nothing you cannot have, if you will only assume it as already yours. Let this truth become the foundation of your being. Let it guide every thought, every feeling, every action. Walk in the certainty of your fulfilled desire, and nothing in existence can stand in your way. The world is yours, waiting only for your recognition, waiting only for your assumption, waiting only for you to claim what has always been yours. Live now in the full awareness of your divine power. Walk in the certainty that all things are already done. Move through life in the joy and gratitude of already possessing all that you seek. And as you do, the world will mirror this truth back to you in ways beyond your wildest imagination. You are not here to struggle. You are not here to wait. You are here to awaken, to remember, to step into the full realization of your creative power. The power of God is within you. Accept it, claim it, live from it, and know beyond all doubt that nothing shall be impossible for you. The world you see is not fixed, nor is it independent of you. It is an ever-changing reflection of your awareness, a canvas upon which your inner convictions are painted. Every experience, every event, every circumstance is the direct result of what you have accepted as true within yourself. To understand this is to hold the key to all creation. You are not a passive observer of life. You are its architect. You are shaping reality in every moment, whether consciously or unconsciously, and the world has no choice but to conform to the assumptions you persistently hold. There is no greater power than awareness. The moment you become aware of your own creative ability, you step into the realm of miracles. There is no need to strive, no need to struggle, no need to fight against circumstances. The only requirement is your conviction. The only demand is your willingness to assume that you already are what you desire to be. Everything else follows naturally, effortlessly, inevitably. Do not wait for signs, for they will not come until you first believe. The world is but a shadow of your inner state, and a shadow cannot move until you move. The cause is always within, and the effect is always without. Change your consciousness, and the world must change in response. Hold firmly to your assumption, and reality will bend to your will. It has no choice, for it is bound by law to mirror your awareness. The error most make is to allow their senses to dictate their beliefs. They look upon their circumstances and accept them as truth. They react to the world as though it has power over them, not realizing that they are the ones who gave it power in the first place. But the awakened soul understands that appearances are nothing more than echoes of old thoughts, old assumptions, old states of consciousness. They are not final, nor are they fixed. They are malleable, subject to the hand that wields them, and that hand is yours. You must discipline yourself to think only from the state of already having, already being, already possessing all that you seek. Do not look at the world and say it is not yet here. Instead, look within and say it is already done. That simple shift in awareness is the difference between limitation and limitless creation. The world is not something to be changed directly. It is something to be reflected differently. And the reflection changes only when you change the original image. Live now in the end result. Walk now in the certainty of your fulfilled desire. Let your mind dwell only on that which you wish to experience, and refuse to entertain even the slightest thought of limitation. Every thought you persist in becomes form. Every assumption you hold shapes the unfolding of events. You are never at the mercy of life, for life itself is flowing from you. You are never powerless, for the power of God is within you, waiting only for your recognition. Do not concern yourself with the mechanics of manifestation. The how is not your domain. The way in which your desire will unfold is beyond your comprehension, for it is orchestrated by forces greater than you can perceive. Your only responsibility is to hold firm to the feeling of already having. Do this, and the unseen forces of creation will move mountains to bring it to pass. There is no desire too great, no vision too grand, no goal too distant. If you can imagine it with conviction, if you can assume it as already real, then it must become your experience. This is the law, and it is infallible. The only reason desires seem unfulfilled is because they are doubted, questioned, or observed through the lens of time. But the moment you accept that what you desire is already yours, the process of manifestation is complete. Time is merely the unfolding of what has already been established within. Live as though you are already in possession of your greatest dreams. Feel the joy, the peace, the gratitude of already having. Let that feeling saturate your being until it becomes more real to you than the evidence of your senses. And when the world begins to shift, when people, circumstances, and events align to bring forth your vision, do not be surprised. Know that it was always so. Know that you were never separate from it, but only needed to awaken to its presence. Every great transformation, every miraculous event has been brought forth in this manner. Those who have changed their lives, who have defied the odds, who have risen from nothing to everything, have done so not by struggle, but by the inner conviction that their dream was already real. They have lived in the end, felt the reality of their desires before they appeared, and the world has conformed in response. You must do the same. You must cast aside doubt, reject appearances, and hold steadfastly to the assumption that what you desire is already yours. Let nothing shake your belief. Let no circumstance, no delay, no external condition cause you to waver. The moment you accept your vision as real, it is done. The outer world may take time to catch up, but that is irrelevant, for time is only the process by which the unseen becomes seen. You are not here to struggle, you are not here to wait. You are here to create, to express, to experience the fullness of your divine nature. The power that governs the universe is the same power that governs you, for you and it are one. There is no separation, no barrier, no force that can stand between you and your ideal except your own disbelief. Let go of all uncertainty. Stand firm in your knowing. Assume the feeling of already being, already having, already living the life you desire. And as you do, the world must conform. It has no choice, for it is but the servant of your awareness. You are the creator, the master, the one who shapes reality by the power of your assumption. Everything you seek is already within you, waiting only for your recognition. Do not wait for the world to show you proof. Be the proof. Walk in the awareness that all things are already done, and the world will have no choice but to reflect your assumption. The power of God is within you. Accept it, claim it, live from it, and know beyond all doubt that nothing is impossible for you. There is no force in existence that can deny you the fulfillment of your desires once you assume them as already real. The only thing that can stand in your way is your own doubt, your own wavering, your own attachment to appearances. But appearances are deceptive. They are not reality. They are merely the outpicturing of past assumptions, and they have no life of their own. The moment you cease to react to them as though they are permanent, the moment you stop giving them power, they begin to dissolve, making way for the new reality you have claimed within. You are always creating, whether you realize it or not. Every moment of every day, you are shaping your world through the thoughts you entertain, the emotions you cultivate, the beliefs you hold. The question is not whether you are creating, but whether you are creating consciously. Most allow their world to be shaped by unconscious patterns, by old conditioning, by habitual reactions to external conditions. But the awakened soul understands that nothing external has power unless it is first accepted within. If you wish to change anything in your life, change the way you see yourself. The world is simply responding to the concept of yourself that you hold in mind. The people you meet, the opportunities that come or do not come, the circumstances that unfold, all of it is a reflection of the state of consciousness in which you dwell. Change that state, and the world must rearrange itself accordingly. There is no need to fight against what is, no need to struggle against conditions. Simply assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and let that assumption guide your every thought, word, and action. You do not need to seek outside yourself for anything, for all that you desire is already within you. The world will tell you that you must work hard, that you must prove yourself, that you must go through struggle and sacrifice to attain what you seek. But these are illusions. The truth is far simpler, far more powerful. Assume the state of already having, and all things will be added unto you. It does not matter what obstacles seem to stand in your way. It does not matter how impossible your desire may seem. The only thing that matters is your awareness of already having it. Reality is fluid, and it responds to the convictions you hold. When you assume something with feeling, with certainty, with complete acceptance, the world has no choice but to bring it into being. This is the law, and it is as certain as the rising of the sun. You have been given dominion over your world not through effort but through consciousness. The secret is not in doing but in being. Be the person you wish to be now, and the world will shape itself accordingly. Do not wait for conditions to change before you assume the state of your desire. Change your assumption first, and the conditions must follow. This is the great truth that few understand, that the outer world is always an effect, never a cause. The cause is always within, always in the assumptions you hold, the thoughts you persist in, the feelings you entertain. You cannot wait for the world to give you permission to believe. You must believe first, and the world will then reflect that belief. You have been given the greatest gift, the ability to create your own reality, the ability to bring forth anything you desire through the power of assumption. Use it wisely. Guard your thoughts, for they are the seeds of creation. Refuse to dwell on limitation, on doubt, on fear, for these are the enemies of manifestation. Instead, live in the joy of already having. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the satisfaction of your wish fulfilled, and let that feeling guide you. The world may try to distract you, to tempt you into believing that things are as they appear. But you must stand firm in your knowing. Appearances are fleeting. They are but shadows of past states. Your reality is shaped by the consciousness you hold now. If you persist in the assumption of your desired state, nothing in the world can prevent its realization. The law is absolute. It does not fail. It does not discriminate. It does not require effort, only belief. The moment you accept something as true in your imagination, it is set into motion. Time may pass before it becomes visible, but the outcome is certain. Your only task is to remain faithful to your assumption, to hold to it despite any seeming contradictions, to trust in the unseen reality that you have claimed as yours. All things are possible to the one who believes. There is no power outside of you that can dictate your fate. There is no force that can oppose your assumption, no obstacle that can withstand the one who knows his own creative power. The world is your mirror, reflecting back to you the contents of your consciousness. If you do not like what you see, change the vision you hold within. The moment you do, the world must shift accordingly. You are not small, you are not limited, you are not separate from the source of all creation. You are divine, endowed with the power to shape your own reality. The only requirement is that you accept this truth and live by it. Walk in the knowing that you are already all that you wish to be. Speak as one who already has, think as one who already possesses, feel as one who already lives in the joy of fulfillment. And as you do, the world will align to reflect your new state of being. There is no waiting, for all that you seek is already here. There is no striving, for the work is already done. There is only the quiet, confident assumption that what you desire is already yours. Hold to this, persist in this, and nothing in existence can stand in your way. The power of God is within you. Accept it, claim it, and live in the certainty that all things are possible. The power of God awareness is the greatest gift, the key to unlocking the fullness of your divine inheritance. There is nothing you cannot be, nothing you cannot do, nothing you cannot have when you recognize that the creative force of the universe dwells within you. You are not separate from it. you are one with it. The world you see is but a reflection of the assumptions you hold, and the moment you step into the awareness of already having, already being, already possessing, the outer world must conform. There is no need to wait, no need to struggle, no need to seek validation from the outside. The only work required is within. The work of assuming, believing, and persisting in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. The law is unfailing, and the power within you is limitless. Walk in the certainty of this truth. Live as though your highest desires are already realized, and they will materialize before you in ways beyond your imagination. The time for hesitation is over, the time for doubt has passed. You are the creator of your reality, and the world is your mirror. Claim now all that is already yours. Assume the best, expect the best, and allow the divine power within you to manifest the highest and greatest version of your life. Know it, believe it, and live it, and nothing shall be impossible for you.